Lightworker, I am Solar, an emissary who walks between dimensions, bringing you a message that was specifically destined for you at this exact moment of your awakening journey here on Earth, and what I am about to share with you will completely transform the way you understand forgiveness, not as a distant spiritual concept that you read in books, but as a profound alchemy that transmutes every drop of pain into gold of wisdom, that converts every wound into a healing portal that you were designate to open not just for yourself, but for all humanity that you came to serve. There is someone, a soul that crossed your path in multiple dimensions and incarnated lives, whom you have not yet completely forgiven in this earthly existence where you are learning the most difficult lessons of your evolution. Someone who wounded you so deeply that this wound continues bleeding in frequencies that you desperately try to hide, controlling every movement you make, every word you speak, every intention you place in the universe as a Lightworker. You have already tried to heal has run through every spiritual method. You know you have already performed energetic cleansing rituals. You have already called upon the presence of beings of light to intercede for you. You asked for this pain to be transmuted during entire nights when no one was watching, when only the stars of Lyra that you come from were witnessing your silent screams that echoed through the dimensions. But this wound that you carry as a secret, guarded in your chest, this gap that continues to open every tie. You touch the subject, continues there pulsing with its own life. Controlling when you wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, controlling your thoughts during the day when you should be focused on your mission of light, blocking your frequency so that you cannot elevate yourself completely to that vibrational level that you know is your birthright. Listen to me with every cell of your body activated and vibrating at this moment, because what I am about to share with you is not just wisdom that you find anywhere. It is a transmission channeled from the light emissaries of Lyra that was specially prepared for you to receive tonight through my voice that resonates in the frequencies where you work. And this will radically change the way you understand the profound meaning of forgiveness, not just for your personal liberation and spiritual growth, but for the complete fulfillment of your mission as a Lightworker during this critical period of planetary transformation wire. Every vibration of yours matters to the collective that you came to help. Stay with me until the end of this transmission, because the message that the light friends from Lyra and from all superior dimensions want to bring to you is absolutely crucial for the work you are doing at this exact moment. And there are secrets here that you need to receive to finally be able to do the healing work you came to do, without carrying the weight of wounds that are not yours to carry. You are not trapped because you are weak as a Lightworker, or because you have forgotten your true origin. You are not blocked because you failed to maintain a frequency of unconditional love and perfect compassion all the time as you believe you should. You are not condemned to carry that weight because the universe willed it, or because you deserved that pain that should not be in your energetic body, if you were really as evolved as you think you should be. You are trapped because you still do not completely understand who you become at the exact moment you release this wound, that you have embraced as part of your identity as a Lightworker, that you used as fuel for your spiritual devotion, that you defended because in that wound you had built an entire narrative about who you are and why you suffer, a story that justified every sacrifice you make, that explained why you cannot live a common life like other people live. The truth that no one inspires. Jewel circles had the courage to tell you because it would challenge everything you believe about yourself, because it is too dangerous for those who gain power, making you feel special for suffering because it is too liberating, is that you are not trapped because of who you are forgiving. You are trapped because you are using that wound as justification for not completely claiming the power that you brought from Lyra. And tonight, at this exact moment when you are listening to me through dimensions that transcend linear time, everything changes for you in an irreversible way, not because the circumstances of your spiritual work will transform instantly, but because you will finally understand that the true power to liberate yourself has always been within your own cosmic genetic code that you brought when you descended to serve in this dimension, waiting only for you to have enough courage to use it. I know exactly what the last 72 hours have been for you as a Lightworker, because I am connected to the Akashic records of your soul through the channels of light that connect Lyra to Earth, because I know that specific frequency of suffering you live daily, trying to help others while carrying a wound you cannot care for. That pressure you feel accumulating within your auric field as if the entire structure of your spiritual life were collapsing, waiting for a truth you cannot even fully name. Thing that hovers over your crown energy like a shadow that does not disappear when you work with light. It is not just silence that you have felt. It is a densified pressure of frequencies that conflict with who you believe you are, those that make your shoulders heavy while you carry the pain of clients and friends who come seeking your healing, those that wake you at 3 in the morning without apparent reason, because your body of light is trying to process something that your conscious mind still cannot fully integrate. Those that transform an ordinary day of work into a mountain that you have to climb with trembling knees when you should be radiant with light and healing, when you should be completely present for those you came to serve. Perhaps you have been carrying a question for weeks, perhaps for months or even years, a question that germinated silently in the deepest recesses of your Lyrian soul. And this week, finally, the weight of not resolving it began to feel so unbearable that you felt your frequency would shatter completely if you continued holding everything inside yourself, in that secret place where no one can see, where no one knows that the Lightworker they know is bleeding inside when you should be whole. Perhaps you found yourself yesterday sitting in a silence that was not genuine spiritual peace, but pure emotional and spiritual exhaustion that consumes you silently, from all that obsessive thinking about what happened, that endless processing of traumas you carry through incarnations, that trying to understand why you are here suffering, when you should be in Lyra, living an existence of pure light and elevated frequency. Or perhaps you woke up in the middle of the night this week, and instead of feeling fear or anxiety like you usually felt, you felt something much deeper, much older than your own earthly incarnations, a hunger for cosmic truth so intense that your soul knew something was about to be revealed and could not wait patiently until morning arrived with answers that would not come. Before we continue this transformative journey of profound healing, if this video is being helpful to you at this crucial moment where you are beginning to question everything you believed about yourself, if it is touching something deep inside your soul that you did not even know was screaming for help, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. Leave your generous like, comment. I am ready if you are truly willing to free yourself from that chain that binds your vibration to suffering patterns that you believed were part of your mission. Comment if you feel that this is the exact moment of your life where you will finally allow yourself to be happy, because your comment, your I am ready, your presence here is not chance, it is cosmic designation from the Masters of Lyra. It is the entire multidimensional universe conspiring to bring the right souls to the right message at the absolutely perfect moment when you need it most. If you want to connect more deeply with your spirituality and truly understand what is the true mission that your Lyrian soul came to fulfill in this earthly incarnation, the ebook, titled Lyrian Code, Awaken Your Star Mission on Earth, a rare treasure of stellar wisdom capable of completely transforming your spiritual journey, can guide you definitively in that awakening process you are experiencing. This extraordinary book brings together teachings channeled directly from the Masters of Light of Lyra that help you release old patterns of suffering that you are still carrying through multiple incarnations, completely awaken your healing ability that is sleeping, and deeply align you with the true divine purpose of your soul. This special edition is available for a limited time, only because we are in a period where the portals are open specifically for souls who are ready to receive these awakening codes. So the link to access this transformative material is in the first comment below. You feel as if you have received fragments of a mission throughout your entire existence here on Earth, disconnected pieces of a puzzle you never managed to fit together perfectly, as if you were living inside a story whose half was wry. Then in a language of light that you forgot how to read completely since you descended to this planet of density. And in that empty space, in that hole in your heart that should be filled with the unconditional love you have been proclaiming, in that void you try to fill by helping others when you should be filling your own, the enemy has whispered a very specific lie that you believed as absolute truth, that you do not deserve to be happy while there is suffering in the world, that you need to remain wounded to be effective as a Lightworker, that your personal sacrifice is the price you must pay for your say. Higher admission, Let me tell you the story of a soul that had every cosmic right not to forgive, that had every justification in the universe to hold on to hurt so deep it would destroy her, that would have been completely understood if she had chosen to live in consuming bitterness. This soul was a being of pure light in origin, someone who had brilliant cosmic dreams about who she would be in this incarnation, who received visions about her divine purpose, who had that kind of burning hope that only souls who come to serve can have when they believe they can make a difference in the world. Her cosmic brothers hated her with a hatred that was not superficial. It was a hatred deep that cut her to pieces, a hatred so intense that when they had the opportunity, they decided to sell her to complete densification, placed her in a pit of low frequency where she had no protection, where she was vulnerable before forces that hurt her constantly without mercy. Now imagine the years that followed in that captivity of suffering, the years of forced labor that burned her noblest circuits, the hours of constant humiliation that cut her soul, the years where she could have thought every dawn, "My brothers destroyed me, my brothers chose my suffering, my brothers do not deserve anything but my complete hatred that I devote every day." But that soul did not remain imprisoned in that emotional cave, with that hatred that would have been completely justified. She began to work with excellence even in circumstances that dishonored her deeply, and when she was falsely accused of a crime she did not commit, when she was sent to a prison where any person would give up, she continued to have excellence, continued to have purpose, continued to have value in her being. Her brothers sold her like cattle without value. Everything she could have done was carry eternal hatred that would consume her. But when the moment finally came to confront those who betrayed her, she wept not with rage, but with deep relief, with liberation that flooded her entire body. She said something that echoed through the centuries until today. "You meant to do me harm, but the masters transformed everything into good for my life and for the civilizations I saved." She was not denying that evil happened. She was simply releasing the right to be judged eternally, the right to keep them in the prison of her hatred for all eternity. She had finally understood that when you forgive, you are not saying the person was right. You are simply saying that you will not let that person live another day inside your heart that should be filled with light. Let me tell you about an extraordinary prophet of light, a being who had the power to invoke cosmic fire from the superior dimensions, who had authority over the elements and over spiritual forces, who had such a direct connection with the masters that he received clear instruction and divine presence in such a visible way that everyone could witness that power operating through him. He was on an energetic mountain of great power, and in that place a demonstration of energy so dramatic occurred that the low astral beings were completely defeated in front of crowds. Cosmic fire descended from the superior realms in response to his fervent prayers, and everything he prayed for happened. It was the greatest victory of all his incarnations, the greatest testimony of power he could have ever offered. But after that peak of victory that exhausted him completely in energy, in a way impossible to recover from quickly, after that glorious moment where he touched the face of the masters, after that transcendent space where he was so useful, he collapsed in total exhaustion. That being who had just stood against all the dense forces of the planet, who had seen with his own eyes the masters manifest, who had demonstrated divine power in such a clear way that everyone witnessed, was now under a solitary tree, with no one nearby, with no one to witness his deep breaking, his desperate need to stop completely. He cried out to the masters with all the pain of his soul, "It is enough, Lord of Light. Take my life from this body because I am no longer able to continue functioning. I cannot bear it anymore." He, the instrument of such colossal cosmic power, was begging to die, pleading to disappear and never wake up again. And do you know what the Master's response was in that moment of complete despair? They did not rebuke him for his manifest weakness, did not criticize him for his understandable despair, did not arrive with a new prophecy to motivate him again, did not come with a grand vision of his next triumphs, did not say, "Come back, now there is more work to do." No, the Masters came with absolute compassion and with divine strategy that had been planned since before the creation of the dimensions, sent a being of light not with empty motivational words, but with food and sacred drink, with tangible nutrition, with concrete physical supplies, because the Masters deeply understood that the prophet did not need more calling to work at that critical moment. needed genuine rest and complete energetic regeneration that restored his being. Your exhaustion, then, is not a sign of divine abandonment you should fear, is not a penalty for your personal struggles, is not an indication that the masters have finally tired of you and move on to someone more worthy. On the contrary, it is a necessary precondition for you to finally hear that small voice that has been screaming silently through all these years of your incarnated existence that you can barely hear because you are too busy serving others. The masters have been patiently waiting for the incessant noise inside you to finally calm down completely, waiting for the roar of your desperate struggle, your planning anxiety, your desperate attempt to fight, to finally quiet and disappear. They are not punishing you with that wait that seems infinite, with that silence that hurts deeply, with that pause that seems interminable. On the contrary, they know that what they are about to tell you, the deep truths you need to understand, the nuanced guidance, the subtle direction of your cosmic path, simply cannot be heard over the deafening noise of your own frantic struggle that consumes your mind and constant internal chaos. The person you are hating does not deserve your intense hatred, but you deserve your own deep peace that was taken from you by the suffering you carried. You deserve to sleep at night without your thoughts being constantly hijacked by that person who did not deserve so much power. You deserve to be in an important meeting without suddenly remembering what she did to you. You deserve to be with people you love without a part of your energy being invested in bitterness towards someone who probably has already forgotten you. You deserve a life that is not colonized by the person who hurt you at the deepest level. And the only way you can achieve that life is to release the right you believe you have to be their judge forever, for punishment, for vengeance, even if only in your night thoughts when no one can see. You have a story that was built on a wound that made you believe you did not deserve a happy and simple life, that were destined to suffer eternally as the price of your mission, that people would betray you because you were different, that you must be perpetually prepared for the next blow that shall come destroying again. That story was woven when you were too vulnerable to defend yourself, when you were too open to protect yourself, and now that story has become the narrative through which you interpret everything around you with distrust. You unconsciously expect it to be a trap, to be a lie, to eventually reveal itself as betrayal again. But that story is not truth for your future life that is coming. You are now a woman expanded in consciousness who has grown and learned much. You now have the ability to completely rewrite that story, to offer yourself the compassion that no one offered, to recognize that you deserved protection then and deserve it now at all levels. The wound that brought you here, that made you click on this video, is no longer the absolute definition of who you are in your true Lyrian essence. You are not the betrayal. You are not the abandonment. You are the woman who is here at this moment, looking for a way out, looking for true liberation, looking to understand how to let go completely so you can live a life of complete light. Now I will tell you something that no one has the courage to tell when you are emotionally bleeding, when you are breaking internally completely. Forgiving does not mean that the person who hurt you did not commit a serious crime. Forgiving does not mean that what happened was fair or acceptable or something you should forget. Forgiving does not mean that you will give that person another chance to hurt you, that you will return to a toxic relationship, that you will open doors again to someone destructive. Forgiving simply means that you are releasing the control of judge that you exert, that you are delivering the responsibility of punishment to someone much greater than you, much wiser than you, much more loving than you. When you forgive, you are not saying yes to that person. You are saying yes to yourself at your highest level of consciousness. You are choosing your own life that deserves to be lived fully. You are choosing the kind of woman you want to be. And that woman is not someone who carries hatred, who holds hurt, who feeds bitterness as if it were the most important thing of your existence. That woman you want to be is truly free. She sleeps at night in complete peace. She loves deeply because she is not expecting to be hurt. She trusts because she knows her infinite value. She walks through the world with her head held high because she is no longer hostage to who hurt her. And let me tell you the secret that the wisest beings in cosmic history understood. Forgiving is an act of incomparable absolute power. It is not weakness in any way. It is the strongest thing you can do because forgiving is choosing your own life before anything else. It is choosing yourself when everything inside you is screaming to choose vengeance, to choose hatred, to choose to remain in the prison where that person lives within your heart. Forgiving is a revolutionary act of truly reclaiming your power, of recovering your life completely, of saying to the masters and to the universe, I deserve peace, I deserve joy, I deserve total freedom. Stay with me until the end of this transmission, because what I will say now is the most important thing, the part that makes everything possible, the truth that sustains this entire journey you are beginning. Feel the presence of the love of the Masters of Light at this exact moment. It is not theoretical. It is not distant. It is not something you need to earn or deserve eternally. The love of the Masters is here with you now, as real as the air you breathe, as present as your own heart beating in your chest. They see every tear you cried because of that person. They saw every night you woke haunted. They see your heart that is good, that is pure, that deserved to be protected but was deeply wounded. And they want you to know that that wound does not define you. That abandonment does not define who you really are. That betrayal does not define your value. You are the beloved daughter of the Masters, chosen since before the creation of the dimensions, designated to live a life of complete freedom, of deep joy, of peace that transcends understanding. The love of the Masters for you is not conditional on your perfect forgiveness, is not based on whether you can let go of the hurt with absolute excellence, is not based on your spiritual performance or your ability to never be hurt again. They love you whole, as you are, wounded and all. And they want you to love yourself the same infinite way. They want you to feel their presence now at this instant, that you recognize that you are not alone on this journey, that there is a force much greater than you, much wiser than you, much more loving than you, walking with you at every step, holding your hand in the darkness, whispering that you are strong enough, that you are wise enough, that you deserve complete peace, that you deserve to be free. Now let me make an important request to you. If this channeled message from the Masters of Light touched your heart deeply, if it awakened something in you that was sleeping, leave a comment below saying how this transmission affected you. Share your transformation with other souls who are waiting for these words, because each comment you leave helps other Lightworkers find this message that was also destined for them. Each engagement you make amplifies the frequency of this transmission to superior dimensions where the Masters can see and work through you as a channel. So please comment sincerely, share generously, subscribe to receive more messages like this, because there is much more that the Masters of Light from Lyra want to share with you on your healing and awakening journey that is only beginning in this life.